it's yeah, like I would say that the dynamics as far as the United States compared to Latin America when it comes to family, right? Like every weekend, I don't know how it was in Guatemala, but I in Colombia, like for with my ex, like every weekend, like it was like a family reunion, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, it was always this togetherness. Now, typically, in the United States, like people will get together for like holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or Easter, and it's kind of like spread out. You know what I mean? In Latin America, it's pretty much every weekend, so there's that closeness.
Yeah.
Right. I know when I first went down there, I would see 4 or 5 guys or a couple guys walking with their arms around each other. And I'm thinking, are they gay or what? And then I would see women holding hands, but what? It's just family, mother and daughter.
Yeah.
Brothers. It's just the way they were.
Yeah, the way that I think that dynamic is built is because the lack of everything else. Like I said earlier, when you don't have nothing and your family is the only thing you have, you make sure that is the most solid piece of like a family foundation that you can make.
Family is a necessity there.
Yeah.
Where here it's not. It's kind of like they may live in the same house, but everybody lives their own life.
Yeah, they do.
We don't do that here.
No,
but it's a common. When I grew up,
that's true.
Yeah.
There's definitely a big difference. I've noticed that for sure. Okay, so Mark, my next question to you is now you are on welfare. You got yourself together. What was some of the biggest challenges of trying to get everyone acclimated to how things run in the United States? You yourself.
Well, I don't know. I don't really think of anything specific that was hard to do. Just some small things like, he took something from Walmart. Right? Thievery in Latin America is pretty common, more common than not.
So it's a principle.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
Did that make you take it back?
Yeah, give it to the lady.
I made him take it back.
Embarrassing things I ever did.
Never did it again.
What did you steal?
It was a push pop.
They were a little more mischievous than what's the word? Juvenile delinquent.
Yeah.
Because down there it's just a whole different world. I compare living in Latin America like being in the Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
There's freedom there, but there's also
at a cost.
At a cost, a lot of danger.
No, that's true.
School wasn't an issue. I can't really think of anything off the cuff.
The only thing right now that I can think of, and it's like not necessarily an issue, but it's a topic right now that us 3 older ones have been talking about, is trying to get the 3 younger ones to appreciate what they have.
Mm-hmm.
Because they grew up with it compared to us. We didn't have that kind of stuff. Like, for example, they're growing up with the brand name clothes, the Nikes, and all the top tier stuff.
Those guys wore treasure shop clothes.
Yeah, it's this
dollar
little
store. I had to get it.
Yeah, so we're talking about wearing hand-me-downs that who knows how many other times they've been passed down to other people. But
even up here for a few years.
Yeah, and that when we were up here, so that was, as we got older, even then now they have more because us older boys, we do more. We do a whole lot more. So
we work for the company,
now that we're older, we make sure that Christmas isn't on our dad anymore. For the past 3 or 4 years, I've tried to take care of Christmas myself as the older brother, because to me, my dad's done 20 to 30 Christmases by bringing us up here. So like, it's kind of like the same thing. Like when it comes to that kind of thing, I grew up watching my mom and my uncle and my aunts all try to take care of their parents. So any chance that I possibly get, and Henry's actually even better than I am, but any chance that I possibly get to bring the family together without causing my dad any stress, or getting the Christmas presents for everybody without having to cause him any stress. Anytime I get the opportunity to do that, I try to do it. And I always wondered why, but now that we're sitting here talking about it and thinking about it, it's because I grew up watching my mother and my aunts try to take care of their parents.
Yeah, all I had to do yesterday was put the turkey in the oven, and Mark and his girlfriend cooked all the rest of it. So it's a piece of cake. And then last year, you bought all the gifts for everybody.
Yeah.
So and last year, like I said, was a how would I say? It was a character building time for our family. And I was a little bummed out about that because I wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it just happened. But yet, like all things in life that I think are bad at the time, looking back in retrospect, it actually brought us all closer together.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time in the kitchen just talking and just pulling our finances together and just trying to be a little more frugal. And even after the hard times passed and the prosperity started coming in, we've maintained that relationship that we were able to get from that time of difficulty or lack. So
Mhm.
it's actually a blessing.
Yeah.
Many things in my life that seem maybe bad or difficult during the time, if you can try to look at them as happening for you, later when you look back in retrospect, you find that there was a lot of good in it.
Mhm.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I completely agree. Shout out to Black Nubian for the $2 Canadian. I definitely appreciate you for being here. All right. So we're almost at the 1 hour mark. Now I wanted to, sorry, did somebody say something?
No.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah, so we're almost at the 1 hour mark. So I wanna transition more into what you're currently doing now, and as far as how, Mark, you said you have four of your sons that are involved in the business. So let's kind of go back, like, when did you start the business and when did you start to get your sons involved? So let's go that way.
All right. Well, I started the business in '85, like I said, but I closed down until I reopened it back in 2012. And I started the boys. You were the first one, Mark.
Yeah.
I don't 5, 6 years. How many years? How old were you when you started?
When I started the summer of 2012.
Okay,
because-
you started helping me then.
Yeah, and that's whenever I
And
started
how old were
watching.
you then?
I was 12. I had just turned 12 years old. I
Yeah,
had
so he
just turned
started
12.
helping me then. But as far as working for me full time,
That was probably
6, 7
2016 because I didn't want to go to school no more.
yeah.
And 2016, 17, I asked you if I could just work.
Yeah, we got a bunch of high school dropouts here. They're never going to get a job, and that's okay because none of us want a job.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No, absolutely.
yeah, that was
Yeah, no, it's better to build something for yourself as opposed to helping someone build their dream, right? Because
Really started. I guess Henry and Claude started from about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to go to school either, so they came to work. And then Mark came back. He worked for another company for a while, and he came back 6 months ago? Or
Yeah,
a
about
year
6
ago?
months ago.
And then now I actually have it's a LLP, a limited liability partnership, which everybody will have a certain percentage of the business. And Henry, I'm training to be the to take over more or less, to be able to run the business. So he's doing real well in that, but I'm still working, of course. But
Okay.
I'm going to travel to Bucharest here in a couple weeks or a week. Maybe I'll go next week. So and then that's going to give Henry an opportunity to be dad while I'm
Yeah.
gone. So
Mhm.
he's kind of
okay.
his way into, because like when we're on the job, what I will do, I'll leave and let him finish things up, and that is a lot of times one of the most stressful things, wrapping the job up that we've been on for a couple weeks. So plus then you'll have to come home and listen to the kids when they get there with all their demands and make sure everybody gets up and goes to school. We still have 2 in school.
Mhm.
So all four of them's working for me now, are working, not really for me. We're all working together. Would be a better way to say it, because I let Henry make the decision sometimes, and because he's going to have to learn how to do things, and they make mistakes just like I did. It's the only way you can learn, really.
Yeah.